Hello guys, this is your friend ITACHI Fanfic 3.0 and we are back a new fanfic story which is, what if Sakura's serpent style begins to take control of her mind? Let's start fanfic without wasting more time. Sakura pushed off the ground, the movement silent and fluid, leaving the familiar hum of the training field behind. She climbed the ridge overlooking the village, heading toward the highest rock outcrop where the setting sun painted the sky in shades of bruised purple and burning orange. Her left leg, covered in the supple, scale-like chakra wrappings of her serpent-style armor, moved with effortless power, carrying her up the steep incline. She found the seventh Hokage, Naruto, waiting for her. He wasn't wearing the ceremonial white coat, but the rough, orange and red travel cloak seen in the image, an indicator that their conversation was not about political duties, but about the world's deep-seated threats. His hands, still faintly glowing from the earlier jutsu demonstration, were clasped loosely. A look of quiet gravity replaced his usual sunny demeanor. "You're leaving again, aren't you, Sakura?" Naruto asked, his voice low, matching the solemn mood of the twilight. "The seals I placed near the land of ancestors are weakening," she confirmed, placing a hand on the hilt of her curved blade. "Whatever force sealed that pocket dimension is stirring again. It needs reinforcement, or frankly, someone with the raw strength of the great slug sage to keep the borders stable." Naruto sighed, the sound heavy. "That dimension, the one full of those crystal-eating creatures. If they break through, the damage to the Earth's chakra network could be catastrophic. I wish I could come, but the Peace Summit preparations. The world needs the Hokage here." "Naruto," Sakura cut in gently. "I can move faster and more discreetly. Besides," she raised her arm, and the snake-like chakra entity around her wrist pulsed faintly, "the serpent is restless. It knows this kind of ancient, corrupted energy. It's my domain now." Suddenly, a flicker of lightning, sharp and cold, flared nearby. Sasuke materialized, dropping lightly onto the rock beside Naruto, a low crouch reflecting the coiled power of his Uchiha heritage. He hadn't announced his arrival, but they had both known he was there. "The route you're taking passes through the Mist Territory's northern islands," Sasuke stated, his voice a gravelly murmur. "There are reports of rogue summoning contracts being traded, specifically those tied to demonic chakra." Sakura raised an eyebrow. "Are you offering reconnaissance, Uchiha?" A barely perceptible smirk touched the corner of his lips. "I've already completed it. It's a group of renegade monks trying to replicate the ritual that sealed Kagaya. They believe they can gain control of her dimensional powers." He extended his hand, and a small, folded map, marked with precise red circles, appeared. "Their main hideout is here. Destroy the main sealing scroll and the lesser contracts fall apart." The interaction was quick, professional, and intimate in its familiarity. This was their team dynamic, forged by trauma and loyalty. Naruto, the steady, brilliant core. Sakura, the adaptable, arcane specialist connecting the spiritual and physical worlds. And Sasuke, the sharp, preemptive strike from the shadows. "So, my medical mission just turned into a high-level retrieval and destruction mission," Sakura mused, tucking the map into a secure pocket of her robes. "Good to know the old Team 7 synergy is still efficient." Naruto placed a hand on each of their shoulders, his gaze fixed on the darkening horizon. "You two are the reason this peace endures. When you move, the world stays balanced." He looked at Sakura. "Be careful, Serpent. And come back quickly." "I always do, Sage," she replied. Sasuke simply nodded once, a gesture that conveyed both understanding and a silent promise of backup if needed. He then dissolved into a flicker of his Rinnegan-powered jutsu, gone back into the shadows to continue his endless patrol of the unseen borders. Sakura gazed at the spot where he vanished, then turned to Naruto. She gave him a warrior's salute. A quick, sharp chop to the open palm. With a final burst of chakra that wrapped her completely in a shimmering green veil, she launched herself off the precipice and was gone, a pink-haired blur swallowed by the night sky, headed for the troubled edge of the world. The wind in the hidden blossom village always carried the scent of wild jasmine and the distant hum of chakra. For Sakura, though, it often brought a different feeling, a whisper of restless energy, a call to a path less traveled. She stood on the edge of the training grounds, her long, pink hair a banner against the setting sun. Her attire was unconventional, a blend of traditional shinobi wear and practical, flowing robes that spoke of desert travels and swift movements. Around her left arm, a sinuous, green-scaled snake-like companion, woven with chakra threads, lay coiled, its head occasionally twitching to observe its surroundings. On her back, a wickedly curved blade, adorned with mystic symbols, glinted. Sakura was not the Sakura of old, not merely the skilled medic nin who stood in the shadow of her legendary teammates. Years of wandering, of seeking ancient knowledge and forgotten fighting styles, had transformed her. She had journeyed beyond the fire country, deep into lands where the earth pulsed with raw, untamed energy and the very air sang with old magic. It was there she had found the Serpent style, not just a combat form, but a philosophy. It taught her to flow like water, strike like venom, and adapt like a creature shedding its skin. She watched Naruto, now the seventh Hokage, a beacon of golden warmth and unwavering purpose, training a new generation of genin. He moved with a practiced grace, his chakra a vibrant green glow around his hands as he demonstrated a sealing jutsu. He had embraced his destiny, becoming the unwavering pillar of their world. And then there was Sasuke. He moved in shadows, a ghost appearing and disappearing on the periphery of their lives. He was there now, leaning against an ancient stone pillar, his dark hair falling over intense eyes, a subtle crackle of lightning chakra dancing around his fingertips. Sasuke was the storm, the essential counterpoint, forever balancing the light with his own brand of necessary darkness. He protected the village from threats unseen, traversing dimensions and confronting evils before they could even cast a shadow on their home. His presence was a quiet assurance, a sharp edge in the soft fabric of their peace. Sakura felt a familiar pull, the yearning to join them, to stand shoulder to shoulder, yet also the distinct understanding that her path was her own. She had found her power not in mirroring them, but in diverging. Her serpent companion tightened its coil, sensing her shift in mood. Its movements were like living chakra, a constant reminder of the mystical arts she had mastered. A gust of wind ruffled her robes. Sakura closed her eyes, feeling the pulse of the earth beneath her bare feet. She was a guardian too, but of a different kind. She sought out ancient threats, healed the scars of the world's forgotten places, and wielded a power born of adaptation and primal instinct. She opened her eyes, a faint, knowing smile playing on her lips. Her purpose wasn't to stay within the village walls, but to be the bridge between the known and the unknown, to be the wild card that the world occasionally needed. Naruto had his unwavering light, Sasuke his vital shadows, and she had the spirit of the serpent, forever evolving, forever striking, forever free. Her journey was far from over, and the whispers of the wind called her to new horizons. Sakura's movement toward the rogue monks' hideout was a masterclass in silent infiltration, a stark contrast to the destructive spectacle her teammates often employed. She maintained a constant, minute flow of chakra across her skin, not for offense, but for environmental absorption. This technique, learned from a reclusive clan in the land of rivers, allowed her body to mimic the low-energy signature of the natural surroundings, effectively rendering her invisible to all but the most dedicated sensory perception. The monastery, perched precariously on the cliff edge overlooking the turbulent northern sea, was a physical manifestation of ancient power and current corruption. The air around it was not just cold, it was heavy, burdened by the chaotic residue of failed, dark rituals. Sakura had to actively filter the air she breathed, using medical chakra to neutralize the subtle toxins of the demonic contracts being prepared inside. The deep infiltration. Sasuke's map had pinpointed a hidden sea cave leading beneath the structure, but infiltration was only the first challenge. The true danger lay in the defensive seals. The renegade monks had layered the structure with rudimentary, yet effective, barrier seals designed to trap and suppress foreign chakra. Sakura halted at the cavern floor. The entire ceiling above her was covered in glowing, interconnected seal arrays. To break them would cause a massive, alerting explosion.